channel. Welcome back to a new video, and happy new year, happy holidays. I hope everybody had a great holiday, great new year. I hope everybody was safe. I hope everybody is ready for 2025. I am. Hopefully there are a lot of big things going on for everybody in 2025. Y'all, we actually read Christmas books. This is the December wrap-up, and I actually read holiday books. Like, I was shocked. So pats on the back for me. Pats on the back for me.
I'm a scat man.
So based on what I just said, clearly we're doing a December wrap up. Only read 5 books in December. It was a hard month. For one, usually in December I started to like slack off with reading because I just want to like chill. I'm like, I've been reading all year. Like, I just want to like chill out and not read so much. Also had like some personal things going on that was like, I don't feel like reading that much. But we got through it. We hit our goal. We got right to book 70 on New Year's Eve. So I got to 70 books. I made my page goal. So that's all well and fine. Like, the goal is intact. I know I said I was worried because I was so behind on my reading goal, but I still got exactly to it. I didn't exceed it like I wanted to, but we still got to it. So that's another reason for a dance off. Okay, so 5 books, like 1,700 pages, not much. 3 books on the Kindle, 2 physical books. I think mostly highly rated, like 4, 4.5. There was like a 3 in there. We'll get to that later. But it was a slow read month, like out of the ordinary for me. But like I said, we got through it. It's all fine. It's all dandy. We read some Christmas stuff. We read some romance stuff. We read what I would consider erotica, but I don't know because I don't know, maybe not. I have to double check what the like Storygraph and the Goodreads say as far as like genre for that book. We also read some very confusing stuff. So let's just get started. I'm gonna start with the Christmas books, get them out the way. Okay, so the first book, I think I already returned it to Kindle Unlimited because I was looking forward to show y'all the cover on my Kindle, and it's not there. But the first book was Second Chance Christmas by Jaquel J. That was great. It was good. It's about Faith, and she's from this really small town where her mom is like the town drunk or whatever and everything. And on her prom night, her mom drunkenly gets into the car, has a car accident, kills both herself and her boyfriend's little brother. So that night did not go well. She ends up leaving that town. She never goes back. Like she said, I'm not coming back here. I don't want to be back here. She had a really difficult childhood. And we fast forward 15 years later. She's divorced. She has 2 girls. I want to say she has twins. I could be wrong, but she has 2 girls. They're twins. And she's going through a divorce. Well, she's been through a divorce. I think it's been almost a year. And her father gets sick, and he runs a restaurant and coffee shop back in their town. So she ends up going back home. It's around Christmas time. She goes back home to help take care of him, help take care of the restaurant, and she ends up running into her old high school boyfriend, whose name is Rome. I don't think I said his name. His name is Rome. And they reconnect, and like he's already like been feeling bad all this time because of the way he went off on her that night when everything went down, because he's like, it's your fault that you left the keys with your mom and she got in the car while we was at prom and she killed my little brother. Like, they both needed somebody to comfort them. They both lost somebody, and he was just looking for somebody to blame, and he blamed her, and he's been like regretting it ever since. But I thought it was good. I believe I gave it a 4. See, we started the new year off bad already. I gotta do better. I gotta try to remember these ratings before I get on here. I never can. So I gave Second Chance Christmas a 4. I wish that there was more, like, I don't know, it didn't seem like it was a lot of like Christmas going on. Like, we were more focused on the story, which was great. Like, for this to be like just like a quick Christmas romance story, there was a really like interesting twist towards the end. So I thought the story was great, but I think it focused more on like the story, and instead of like building that Christmas atmosphere around the story as well. Like, there are times like they go get a tree, they go to a Christmas festival, and they go shopping for Christmas gifts or whatever, but it's like not a lot of like Christmassy feeling going on in the book. I was like, okay, I'm just reading. Like, first of all, second chance, y'all know I love second chance romance, so I was all into it. But I just wish there was more Christmas, and that's the only reason it got a 4. But other than that, I thought it was good. The story was great. I thought the characters were great. I love the twins. They are so cute. They're polar opposites, but when they need each other, they're like right there. It's so cute. They hate their dad's new girlfriend, which I thought was like a hilarious plot point. Like, they can't stand her at all. It is hilarious. But I thought Rome, he was very complicated love interest. Like, he had a lot of things going on in his life. I just loved it. It was really great. Like I said, just wish it was more Christmas, but it still got a 4. So still highly recommend. I gotta try to find a way to get these in the frame without like the light being all in the way, because I got one light there and then one light there. So if I gotta hold it like perfectly right here. Okay. Stay right here. Okay. No! The next book is A Novel Christmas by Charity Shane. Now this one I liked more than Second Chance Christmas. This one got a 4.5. This is about Sierra, I believe that's how you pronounce her name, and she's a writer who has been told like, your last book didn't do as good as we needed it to. Also, we need you to write a Christmas book, and we need like 4 ideas in the next few weeks, so we need you to get on it, or we're gonna like pull you from this publishing company. And this is like a really like major black publishing company in this world, so she don't want that. Sierra wants to keep her publisher where it is, so she reluctantly is like, all right, I'll write this stupid Christmas book or whatever. And she ends up going to a place called Santa Claus, Indiana. This book had more of like the Christmas vibes for me. They had the Christmas parade. They doing all the Christmas food. They go to this town where there's like a 3% black population. So all the black people get together and do all these Christmas events. So they had like a bonfire, and they had like this event at the firehouse. And she's renting an Airbnb from this guy, Dorian, who is a widower. His wife's been passed, I believe, it's 3 years, I want to say. 3 or 4 years, something like that. And he's like immediately, like instantly attracted to her, which like freaks him out because he hasn't been attracted to anybody like that since his wife. And it's just the story of how they like, their romance builds and how they get to know each other. And the issues that he has with like his own feelings and feeling like he's betraying his wife. And it's like this one was more of a simpler story than the other one, but it had more Christmas aspects because of the name of the town, and everything literally in the town is like Christmas. Giant Santa Clauses everywhere, reindeer. It's like crazy, but I still thought it was great. This one got 4.5 stars, mostly just for the Christmas aspect of it. I probably could have also gave it a 4 because, like, yay Christmas, but story it could have been some more going on in the story. But, you know, just to have like a quick little Christmas romance, you know, it was cool. It was good. I gave it 4.5. I liked the characters. I liked Dorian. He's another one of those like complex, complicated love interests that got like a lot going on. And Sierra, I love that she was a writer, and she's just constantly has like her camera eyes like scanning for inspiration and for everything. I really liked her sister. I really liked the side characters that worked at the fire station with Dorian, all his friends. They were really cool. They were really like supportive of him. I liked it a lot. It got 4.5 stars. Next book is Product of the Street by E. Bowser. This book, let me put this up here. Come on, lights, damn it. This book right here was like, it took me back to like my Be More Careful days when I was reading Be More Careful when I was like 11. Like, I thought this was so good. It's about 2 sisters, Tally and Shandia, and they grew up in Union City, but they're like, we want to get away. We want to become a product of the street. So they move away, they become travel nurses, but they end up having to come back because their mother is sick. So they come back, and before they left, they like had these really like interesting encounters with these 2 guys, Henny and Oz. And when they come back, they like meet up again. Like Shandy has already been in contact with Oz the whole time they've been gone. They've been gone for like 6 years. When they come back, like she meets up with him and they start up a thing. And then her sister ends up meeting up with Dr. Sexy or Henny, who's like the medical director of the hospital. But they have a whole bunch of like other shady side things going on that they don't really quite explain, except for like Oz kind of like what he does. But this story was great. It's like the spice is like all the way up through the roof, like all the way up there. But when I tell y'all that the cliffhanger that this ended on was crazy, and I have book 2 sitting in my library, but I have not started it. I plan to start it, if not today, then tomorrow. I gotta get into that book. Like this story was crazy. They're into some stuff. If you have read this or you plan to read this, you will know what I mean when I say they're into some stuff that sound kind of interesting. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I did a whole video on my TikTok about this book. If you want to go watch that, it's a little bit more like, you know, give you a little bit more information about the book. But yeah, Product of the Street, I believe there are 5 of these, and I've only gotten through the first one, and everybody on my TikTok video was like, girl, wait till you get to this one. You love Henny. Wait till you get to this one. Da, 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 da. And it's just like, even the author got on my TikTok and was like, oh, she says she loves Henny. Wait till she see book whatever. And I'm like, girl, why would you say that? Why would you tell me that? Like, you're the author. You're supposed to let me sit in suspense. I'm sitting in anxiety now. I'm not sitting in suspense. I'm sitting in anxiety. I don't like that. But this was really good. This got a 5. I recommend it. Yeah, go read the Product of the Street series. Go do that. Okay, I was trying to decide which book I was going to talk about next, but I don't want to end on a bad note, so I'm going to save my favorite book of the month for last. But the next book was the book club read for the month, which was The Night Circus. Kay and I were just trying to figure out what was like a super wintry like fantasy book that we could read, and we settled on The Night Circus just because it seemed like it was like it gave off winter vibes, but I don't really think it did. And also it took me a long time to read this. I started reading this on the 10th, and like I said, I didn't finish my last book until the 31st, and this was the last book I finished for the year. I gave this a 3. I was not, I was excited about it when we first started reading it. It seemed really like mysterious. The writing was really cool. And we were all like, what's this game? What's this challenge that's going on like between these two guys? And I don't know. It took a really long time to get to any type of point, any type of plot. There's a lot of time jumps, a lot of location jumps. I had to keep constantly looking back at the beginning of the previous chapter to see if I was still in the same year, or if it was like 10 years later, or if it was a couple of months ago. Like it was a lot of like jumping around for me. And then there seemed to be a lot of plot points that did not need to be part of the story. Like for example, one of the people involved with the circus gets hit by a train, and it just didn't seem to add anything to the story really, except to show that she feels like maybe there was something else going on with the circus than it actually just being a circus. Like it just, there are little things like that like, what was the point of this? Like, what was the point of this chapter? What was the point of this conversation? What was the point of this plot point? What was the point of having this person do this at this particular time? What are the point of these statues that are never explained, that are within the circus, that move super slow? Like, at some points they put so much emphasis and focus on these statues that I was waiting for them to say, oh, these statues are X, Y, and Z. And then the ending wasn't super satisfying. The love story between Celia and Marco, it was cute when we finally got to it, like more than halfway through the book. But it just, you know, I wanted it to be good so bad, but I just, like, when I was reading it, I was into it, but when I like would stop reading and had to go back to it, I was like, like I probably could have read more books, but I was like, I don't want to read anything else because it'll keep me from finishing this, and I gotta finish this book. But yeah, it got a 3. It just the pacing and the jumping around and the unnecessary stuff going on just was not for me. And I've had this book for a really long time. I had to go into storage to get this book out of a box. But yeah, I mean, it says it haunts and bewitches on every page, a showstopper. Bewitching is a good word for especially for the way that it's written. Erin Morgenstern is a very, very good writer. I'm gonna have to see if she has any other books that I might like a little bit better than this. But yeah, it was okay. It wasn't the greatest book. It was a little confusing at times. I wasn't really sure what was going on. But yeah, it got 3 stars. And the last book of the month, I've already talked about it in my top 10 books of the year video, and that is A Love Song for Ricky Wilde by Tia Williams. I have now, well, no, I still got to read Accidental Diva. I was about to say I've completed Tia Williams' entire catalog, but I still have to read Accidental Diva. A Love Song for Ricky Wilde, surprisingly to some of y'all in my last video, beat out 7 Days in June. 7 Days in June was a great book. I love the second chance romance. Y'all know that. But when I read A Love Song for Ricky Wilde, it just combined everything I love about books, the magical realism, the fiction, the black history within this book. It was just all so good. The writing, there was no way that I was gonna put 7 Days in June in my top 10 over this. Like, no, there was no way. Like, this is about Ezra and, oh my god, I'm drawing a blank. Ezra and, come on, I know her name, Ricky. It's right in the title. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, this is not a good way to start off the year. It's right in the title. Ricky Wilde. You look in the summary for her name and it's right in the title. It's about Ezra and Ricky is like the black sheep of her family, and she's really interested in flowers and plants, and she ends up moving to Harlem after she meets this like really interesting older lady at her family's funeral home. And she moves to Harlem into like the bottom floor of this lady's brownstone and opens up her flower shop. And she's having like bits of success, but she's also struggling. And in a garden one night, she sees this guy who's just staring at her, and he's staring at her in both shock and horror and disbelief. And he I don't want to spoil it too much. Like, I really want y'all to go out and pick up this book. If you have not read this book, I really want you to go and pick it up. So I don't want to say too much about the plot. I don't want to spoil anything for anybody. But interesting relationship ensues between the two of them, and you just have to read it to see how it goes. It's just I think the magical, I don't read a lot of magical realism, and I think the magical realism got me like really heavy in this book, along with because this is not the same thing as like a romantasy. Like a romantasy book, yes, that's cool, but a book that's like contemporary romance that has elements of magical realism in it, set in like an actual real world setting, is completely different than romantasy, where you have two characters set in some fictional world, and you know there's like some kind of like enemies to lovers thing, which usually is what it is. But this was just, it was something else, and the writing was great. I have it all marked up everywhere, like all my sticky notes in here and stuff underlined, and like I don't know, there's just a lot of things that came full circle in this. The quote, he was music I wanted to listen to forever. It was just that quote lives rent free in my mind since I've read this book. It's just, this is a beautiful love story, and it's just, yeah, it's my favorite book of hers. And now I have to come up with some questions to ask her about this story, because, and shout out to Eva Mercy from 7 Days in June, because Eva and Shane both make an appearance in this book. I have that marked somewhere, I don't know where, but I have it marked. When they showed up, I have it marked off like where they show up, and it's just, here it is right here. Ricky recognized him as Shane Hall, the best-selling author and Eva's husband. Like, she went to a book event that Eva was doing and saw Shane in the back with a sign asking her if she was okay, because you know she get headaches, and she just was like no. So then he gets her out of there. But yeah, Love Song for Ricky Wilde. Of course this got a 5. Of course it got a 5. Okay, so that was my very short wrap up with my 5 books from December. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you see something that you want to read. If you read The Night Circus and you end up loving it, like it's like a 5-star read for you, please come back and share with me. Also, if you get a love song for Ricky Wilde, definitely come back and talk to me about it, because we gotta have some type of repertoire about the book is crazy amazing. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope the start of your year is going well, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.